Coming to you from the city where the first American pizzeria was opened. And no, it wasn't Ray's. This is Ventriloquism Weekly. Welcome back again on another Monday. Can you believe it already? Now we're in the month of October, and let me tell you, the episodes we'll be bringing you all month are scary good. And that includes today, because it's going to be sweet. It's so different. I love it. Come with me now to a courtyard in Lower Manhattan with our guest, Nigel "DOCTA GEL" Dunkley. Maybe you've heard of him, maybe you haven't. I haven't. He was brought to my attention by one of our listeners, and I am so thrilled that he was, because I found out that Dunkley performs his act on the subway train, to the surprise and delight of his passengers, as well as his colleague who's sitting back here going, that's awesome. And I hope one day to be on the train and see him ride, because I saw some videos of his, and it's just great. And now, via my trusty iPad, we were on location, here to talk about his career in Vent, including when exactly the C train stands for comedy, is our guest, Nigel "DOCTA GEL" Dunkley. We are here in beautiful Lower Manhattan on a gorgeous day in the courtyard with Nigel "DOCTA GEL" Dunkley. Thank you for being with us, sir.
What's up? I'm glad to be here. Amen.
Well, I always start at the beginning with my guests, and such a unique line of questioning for you, but let's start with the standard. How did you get into ventriloquism? When did you get into it? And what was the spark?
How I got into it was I love cartoon characters. I love comedy, and I say, you know what? I want to become a voiceover artist. And I went to a meeting about it. It was so overwhelming to get into the business. I said, you know what? What's the next best thing? Puppets. So I got into working puppets. What's even better than working with puppets and then doing it ventriloquism. And therefore, here I am.
Great. Now, what started the whole riding the subway and performing on the subway?
Well, riding the subway, that's what I was found to be an experiment to see how would people react to a puppet or a ventriloquist rather in action. A lot of folks haven't seen a ventriloquist live before, so I figured why not give them that gift of seeing that. And also, it's free marketing, it's free advertising. People see me, like my act, they call me, and put a bing, put a boom.
It's great. So is this what you do for a living?
Currently, yes. This is my full-time job.
It's great.
My source of income.
It's wonderful. As you know, the ventriloquist community is really small, and when you were brought to my attention, I'm like, why haven't I heard of this guy before? And it's just so unique what you do. Can you talk a little bit about creating your main character, Cindy Hot Chocolate?
Well, Cindy Hot Chocolate, when I first so-called met her, was in 2005. And a friend of mine, she was doing a culture event for the community, and she wanted someone who could puppets. So I say, I like working with puppets. I just ordered a bunch of puppets, random generic puppets, a girl puppet, a guy puppet, a farmer puppet, And at first, believe it or not, Cindy Hot Chocolate, the name didn't come until in 2010. Mm-hmm. I just called it Cindy, but the Hot Chocolate came about 2010, 2011. So basically, I had the character first, and then puppet came after.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I got the puppet, and I just worked with it, trying to test her out personality-wise, what she's all about, what she would say, some jokes here and there. And over time, I got the whole personality created. And after time, I changed her look from the way I first ordered her from the internet. I customized her look, gave her a more unique appearance.
Great. And she's such a simple looking puppet. I mean,
right.
you see like the Marianne Taylors and,
right.
and the Steve Axtell's, beautiful work, and then when the character is so specific, all you need is that simple puppet.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Where did you find her online? What?
I went to the site called thepuppetstore.com.
Yes.
They make all types of puppets, very generic, very plain, simple, like you said. So I chose it to myself to get these puppets and maybe modify it, so give it even more character.
Yeah.
Still making it simple, but giving a little twist of my own personality.
Great. What did you want when you were creating the character? What sparked the idea for the character?
Well, truth be told, each character that I have is a portion of my personality, exaggerated. Like, I could be cranky, I could be a wisecracker, I could be rude. And also, the females in my family, like my mother, my sister, my cousins, and my close friends. I look at them and I say, they're so funny when they say, why not give them a tribute? A black girl who's real sassy, who will say anything just to get your attention. So I figure, it's like a gift, my tribute to them, of how I see girls I came across in my lifetime.
That's great. And I want to go back for a minute to the subway. Right. Any unique stories? Any funny stories from riding the rails? And
funny stories, and yet so dangerous. I've seen people look at me kind of awkwardly and say, okay, what's he doing? This is crazy. Then after a while, they warm up to it and say, oh, the puppet show, this guy's good, this guy's great. And every now and then, there will be folks who are a little bit scared of puppets. They freak out when I bring it too close to the seats. And there's been sometimes I've seen grown dudes, heavy set dudes, or like very serious monotone guys who really get angry about what I say or the jokes I may deliver. And I gotta be careful that I can't cross a certain line. Still stay in character, but there's a line you can't cross. And there's some people who don't have a sense of humor.
That's interesting. You say stay in character. And by the way, we're going to post a link to your YouTube about you did this video about breaking character when you're on the subway.
Oh wow! Thanks for watching.
Yeah, about breaking character because people get freaked out. What is your character when you're on the subway?
The character, my stage name, I call myself DOCTA GEL. I'm her social worker, Cindy Hot Chocolate. As well as other characters I have. There's also Mr. Santoko. I'm his advisor. He's like a foreign exchange student. So I'm like his advisor. I'm her social worker. So each character I have, I like to bring the point that they all have issues, and I'm here to help them. And to helping them, it's like a comedy story, back and forth. They got issues, and I'm the straight guy. They're the person who has like the most craziest attitude problems, or the different anything in life. If it's making it into a big element into the character. Like I have one character named Ivan, Poivan. He's like a boogeyman / zombie, and he's very sick. He's very disturbed looking. So I try to tell kids during my kids show, it's not good to judge people on how they look. Be nice to people, no matter who they are. Be kind. So that's why I do that.
Do you busk when you do the subway? Do they pass the hat?
Yeah, when they feel like to. Most of the time, they ask me, "Are you taking tips?" Because I don't always make it a big deal. Like, you want to do it. I appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, I do it to make the train ride much more enjoyable. It can be a lot of long ride, patient, wearing rides, and I try to, make the ride the greatest ride ever. And I met a lot of great people through that. I met some actors, I met some doctors, I met some pastors, I met some people, everyday people who really enjoy it, and they spread the word. And from the train, I actually got entered into the stand-up comedy circuit by doing shows every now and then at different clubs and stuff.
Great. So yeah, because you said this is your full living. So
yeah.
The subway being what you're known for, people know that. What is your bread and butter? What shows do you do?
I do a lot of private parties, with kids parties, birthday parties, church functions, Sunday school. It could be a back to school rally. And also, I also do adult parties, for their birthday for grown folks. And I'm also interested in doing for nursing homes and the less unfortunate children in the children's hospitals. So through their sponsorship, I'm able to survive and make a living.
That's wonderful. It's so unique. So, who are your inspirations in this community? Who do you look at and go, wow?
Well, as far as humanitarianism, humanitarianism. I guess Bill Cosby is a great I face. Comedy in general. The Richard Pryors, the Jim Carreys, the ventriloquists, Terry Fader, Jeff Dunham. Because every now and then people will say, "Hey, have you ever heard of Jeff Dunham?" I said, "Yeah, I got his DVDs. I got all his DVDs." Ventriloquists from overseas, like Paul Zerdin, Nina Conti. It's great. I take little bits and pieces of their act and make it into my own. And I'm able to thank them through giving them my own taste of what I see.
A great tribute.
Yeah, tribute. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's so interesting that when did you fall into doing it full time?
I fell into it in this April 2013. That's when I was let go from the job I had before, 7 years working in a retail store. And from that time, the reason I was let go because I was going out of work because the shows I was doing were happening to be on the same day I'm supposed to work. And obviously I can't cancel my shows to have commitments,
Right.
People want to see me in action. So eventually, and unfortunately, I had to be let go. But at the end of the day, I'm doing very well now. God is good. I got to give thanks to all my supporters who believed in me and gave me encouragement to get better and to really gamble with my life and really do something about it.
Well, that's such an inspirational story, and it's to those that are in that transitional phase of let me do it. So, what was the deciding factor for you to say, I'm not going to pursue another job in retail. I'm going to commit to doing it full time?
Well, I felt like I've been in retail a long time, 7 years. I'm 28 years old, so I've been there since I was 21. And I felt like I am thankful for the opportunity of working in retail. I had a great experience by saying, it's time to really pursue my passion, pursue my dream of being an entertainer. And that's what I felt like. It was time to really live out my dream at all costs.
So, can you pinpoint that first show full time that you went, this is it, this is the first of a new chapter?
I can't recall the exact show, but I know when I did a show while I was working, the kids' faces, they wanted more. They wanted to see me more often. I had parents come to me, I'll see you next year, right? And on my site, I have a testimonial page, and the people write down their feedback of my show, and I say, you know what? They really love what I do, and I really appreciate that. So it would be wrong for me to not do this. So I say, you know what? Every show is different, yet a blessing to do, so I'm able to really reflect on those shows and really say, you know what? I love what I do.
You have to love it.
Yeah.
You have to love it. So, when you write your comedy for these shows, what kinds of things do you work with? What kind of material do you write?
I guess you can say observational comedy or personal stories, with myself. I may also do, what's the word when you say you make fun of yourself?
Self-deprecating.
Yeah, self-deprecating part. I got a huge head. I got, my face is dark, my beard. I'm not so pretty or attractive. So I have the characters make fun of me being a ventriloquist, talking to myself, the dating scene and stuff like that. So I'm making a big joke, especially, family joke. It's not an inside joke I'm trying to work on incorporating to my actual show. But I realized that true stories are the best comedy,
Mm-hmm.
Things that happen in your life that are so amazing, can make it to a joke. Like I can say, it's a true story.
And then you write that into a 2-person script.
Right, I gotta be the straight guy and it's like, the punchline.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm trying to, everybody knows me for Cindy Hot Chocolate. I'm trying to incorporate characters into my show more frequently because generally speaking, when I do my kids shows, I use everybody. I use, all my characters. But for the adult shows, I stay safe with Cindy Hot Chocolate because, people love her because people like her, People know someone just like her. That's why it's working so well.
It's great. And so, what do you want to see in the next generation, in the generation upcoming with ventriloquists? What do you look for when you look at this?
I look forward to people being interested in it. I hope I inspire people, and I hope I inspire people to tell their story to whatever you want to do, maybe ventriloquism or art. Do it and don't be afraid to showcase it in public, to be courageous. Don't be afraid to be different, because a lot of clients I've had said they appreciate my art because it's something different they haven't seen in a long time or too often. So at times I can be discouraged. I had a bad show because I'm not doing it so good when I first started. Over time I'm getting better. So I want to inspire folks. Just because you messed up the first time, don't be discouraged. Always try harder and always think different. Always have something else to come, Don't be afraid to look stupid,
Great words of advice. Nigel, DOCTA GEL, Dunkley, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Matt Bailey.
Wonderful.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So much fun. I had so much fun doing that interview. It was very funny, very personable, and it was great to get to know him. So thank you, Nigel, for being with us. DOCTA GEL, I should say, for being with us. Now, all you guys, I hope we've brought a new artist to your attention, or even if you've known who he was, heard his name, I got to give you the information. Find him on Facebook, Cindy Hot Chocolate on Facebook. That's the name of the character, and his little dummy. And his website is itsgeltime.com. That's itsgeltime.com. And we have a special feature on our YouTube channel showing Nigel and Cindy Hot Chocolate doing what they do best. Click the link below if you're on Podomatic, or if you're just listening to us, visit YouTube and search Ventriloquism Weekly. Now, on to some of the really cool new stuff that we got going on. Our website, our hosting site, has gone pro. You guys were asking what that meant. That means I've increased the storage, I've increased the bandwidth. Don't need to use a second site, because I realized sooner or later that second site's going to turn into a third site and a fourth site, and it would just be weird. So we upgraded the site, and we are pro, and it is a big day for us here. Those first 2 episodes that had to be deleted, myself and Vinny, they will be up. They'll be kind of below this episode, but I'll mark them as episode 2 and the re-upload, so you'll see them, but they'll be a bit out of order. Also, we have a Facebook group now. Search Ventriloquism Weekly _podcast for ventriloquists. We're up to, right now, 35 members, which is great. I started it like 3 days ago, so 35 members. That's awesome. Go there. That's where I'll be posting and doing different things, as well as Podomatic and all these different stuff. It's great to expand onto Facebook. I'll still post in the other groups, but now we have our own. Now, word about joining the group. You're going to click to join, and for some reason, even though it's an open group, I have to approve your request. I will approve your request, obviously. It just might take a little bit for me to get there, but I promise anyone who wants to join in the fun will get a chance to. Our future is looking brighter than ever, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming along and creating this to be such a journey for me. And that's it for us this week. Write to us. Take charge of your podcast. How many times have I said that? Take charge. Okay. Send your thoughts on all of our topics to ventriloquismweekly@gmail.com. You guys know the ordeal. Just ventriloquismweekly.podomatic.com. Now pro. And signing off from New York City for Ventriloquism Weekly, I'm Matt Bailey, reminding all you vents out there to keep talking for 2.